How to use this book. Most magic books contain rituals to help you solve individual problems. If somebody owes you money, there's a ritual to make them pay. If you want to get a better deal on something important, you can work a spell to improve your chances. This approach to magic is excellent. You choose what you need when you need it, but for long-term financial transformation, it's not enough. Over the years, members of the Gallery of Magic have tested every method imaginable, and the conclusion is always the same: a single long-term working, comprised of several connected rituals, brings the best results. That's what this book is. This isn't just a collection of rituals, it's a system. It's not here to offer quick fixes for individual money problems, although it might do that along the way. This book is the solution to money problems and the key to opportunity. Work through the rituals from the beginning to the end, and you will get the best results. Think of it as a single working, broken down into the important, recognizable parts. Each ritual builds on the last, moving you from where you are now into a new financial reality. The power comes from momentum, magic that doesn't just solve problems but shifts the way money moves around you. You perform each ritual for a set number of days, as indicated in the text. After each ritual, you should pause for at least 2 days. That means you can get the whole thing done in about a year, but this isn't magic that should be rushed. Pausing between rituals may be ideal for you, rather than trying to get it done as fast as possible. Money is in motion, and so is this magic. It works with time, rather than against it, and if you force it to move too fast, you might miss out on the opportunities that are trying to align for you. You can read ahead if you want, and I'd even advise you to do that. The ideas are useful from the beginning right through to the end, so it's worth reading the whole book to understand how you'll experience the magic. You might want to know if you can skip certain rituals. You can, but you won't get the full benefits. If you cut parts out, the system still works, but it isn't as complete. Magic is always adaptable, but when it's designed as a whole, you should try to experience it that way. If you want to pick and choose, you can, but the best results come from working through it properly. You should never skip the stories and ideas that surround the rituals, even if they don't seem to apply to you. Read everything that's here, as magic is woven into the words, and by understanding these ideas the rituals have a much better way of working through you. Do the rituals have to be done in the order they're presented? Yes, that's the best way. Work with one ritual until it is complete. Then, after a short pause of 2 days, or longer if you prefer, work with the next. The sequence matters because each part of the working builds on the last, creating something bigger than the sum of its parts. If you absolutely need to adjust the order, the magic will work, but following the structure will always give you the best possible results. What if a ritual has no relevance to you? If you come across a ritual or a chapter and feel that you've already dealt with those issues fully, be aware that it could be an area that needs much more work. Don't fall for your own assumptions about yourself. The best way to approach the book is by performing all the rituals, even when they don't seem relevant to you. If you trust the process, the discoveries you make will be surprising. And remember that the rituals will continue working to bring change long after you've finished performing them. Don't expect all the results to come during the brief few days that you're working with them. Can you do it all at once? No, that's not how this works. There should be gaps of a few days between these workings, because this is magic that unfolds with time. It's not a one-shot ritual, it's a process of change. You need to allow time for it to integrate into your life, for the results to take shape, and for the next ritual to land on solid ground rather than on top of unfinished business. Some people will pause for weeks, months, or more between rituals, and if that feels right then it is right. And then there's the final question: do you repeat the whole system at any time? The answer is yes and no. When magic works, there's no need to repeat it. If you do a ritual and it gets results, you don't need to do it again. But if your circumstances change, the magic can be performed again. This doesn't mean you're repeating it, it means you're using it in a new situation. If you move into a completely new financial reality and need to adjust things again, the magic is still here. It grows with you. It moves with you. If you're looking for rituals to achieve highly specific results, you may need to look at some of our other books, but don't rush into that. In this book, for example, there is no ritual to help improve your sales, earnings or wages, and that's because the combined magic offered throughout the book will help you achieve that improvement. While you are certainly free to use the other books and methods to direct your magic at specific targets, be aware that many of your problems will be resolved by working through all the rituals as they are set out. If a problem doesn't go away, or if you feel it needs extra attention, you always have options, but allow the magic in this book some time to work, as it can ease problems before they become serious, and will make it easier for you to navigate through any difficult times. If you could send a message back to last week and tell yourself the winning lottery numbers, you'd do it in an instant. If somebody told you it would cost $50,000 to send that message, you'd pay because it would be totally affordable. It's the same with magic. Whatever you spend today, in terms of time and commitment to magic and financial growth, is negligible. It's nothing compared to what you will earn and attract. This book offers a financial shift, with a long-term working that keeps unfolding even after the last ritual is done. Work through it properly and with serious commitment, and you will change the way money moves around you forever. I recommend reading the whole book within a few weeks of starting out so that you know what's coming and begin to engage with some of the core ideas that shape the magic. The reality of magical safety. Every time I write about money magic, a familiar set of concerns reappears. Some people worry that magic comes with a hidden price, and that the spirits involved will demand something in return. Others fear that by attracting wealth, they might trigger some kind of cosmic backlash, an unseen force that punishes those who take too much. There's an old superstition that says magic always comes with a cost, as though the universe demands balance for every gain. None of this is true. If you look at how money moves in the world, you can see this clearly. There's no natural balance when it comes to wealth. People who do the most important work, the ones growing food, fixing roads, building houses, are often the ones who struggle the most. Meanwhile, those who manipulate money, exploit loopholes, or contribute nothing of value tend to accumulate more than they'll ever need. This alone tells you that wealth isn't about balance. The universe does not redistribute wealth fairly. The rich stay rich. The poor stay poor. And unless you do something to change your situation, you remain exactly where you are. Magic is one of the few ways to tilt the system in your favor. You can use it to create luck, opportunities, and openings where none existed before. But there is no force that will come knocking to reclaim what you've gained. There is no hidden debt to be paid. When you earn money through magic, it is yours. The only price is the effort you put into the ritual, and if you enjoy the results, you've already completed the exchange. Some people ask if performing magic for money can have unexpected side effects, and the answer is almost always no. But occasionally, when somebody first starts working with magic, they experience a shift, a temporary feeling of anxiety, restlessness, or strange dreams. This isn't the magic harming you. It's your own internal resistance coming to the surface. If you've been raised to believe that wealth is bad or that money magic is selfish, your mind might take some time to adjust. The discomfort passes, and for many people, it never happens at all. Other people wonder if they'll have to suffer in some way to gain wealth, as though the magic will take the easiest route to financial success, perhaps by causing an accident so you inherit money or making you lose your job. So you're forced onto a better path. This simply isn't how magic works. It takes the path of least resistance, but that doesn't mean it takes the worst possible route. It is easier for the magic to nudge you towards a new job, a lucky investment, or a forgotten opportunity. Magic does not rewrite reality in a cruel way. If you've been brought up to believe that magic is dangerous, or that it's wrong to desire wealth, you might hesitate before starting. That hesitation is normal. The only way to know how you truly feel is to try the magic and see. Magic itself is neither good nor evil. It's a tool. What matters is what you do with it. If you work through this book, performing the rituals as intended, you will not be harmed. Nobody you love will come to harm. And you will not be punished for wanting a better life. There is only one thing that can block the magic, and that is guilt. If you believe, deep down, that you don't deserve money, you might unconsciously stop yourself from allowing it in. This is why it's important to get comfortable with your wants and needs. If you want a lot, you should allow yourself to want that. If you only want a little, that's fine too. There is no right or a wrong. I've met people who live in extravagant wealth and others who live simply. Some believe that having more than one house is excessive, while others can't imagine why you wouldn't want 5. Some people think owning 2 cars is greedy, while others wonder why you wouldn't want 10. What you choose to pursue is up to you. The universe is not judging you. The only question is whether you allow yourself to enjoy what you receive. If you feel good about what you manifest, money will continue to flow. If you fear it, resent it, or reject it, you may find that flow drying up. That is the only real danger in money magic, not punishment, not backlash, but your own feelings about what you deserve. Thankfully, as you will discover, the magic itself will help you overcome all such resistance. Over the years, I've seen that people worry about the nature of the angels, and whether they may be fallen angels and, therefore, evil. There will always be an online expert ready to spread fear if you're willing to listen. If you are filled with fear, nothing I say will reassure you, but you may feel relaxed knowing that our books have been used successfully for many years by tens of thousands of readers, who have all shown that you can trust the safety of our magic. What is the source of the angel names, words of power, and the sigils? We have previously spoken of this, gently suggesting which sources can be consulted to check how our sigils have been put together. In this case, while some of the angels may appear in dictionaries, most won't. Where these angels are listed in dictionaries, the summary is generally given do not agree with what we've found to be true about these angels. Some of the angels may be found in books, such as Sefer HaHeshach and Sefer HaRazim. If you find them there, well done. However, such books, while at least being available, are not descriptive or instructive and provide only lists. Our understanding of the angels came from first-hand experience, personal introductions from other occultists, and private collections of magic which are not currently available to the public. While powerful, the angels are not there to judge you and will always keep you safe. The rituals in this book are designed for safety, stability, and long-term results. There is no hidden catch, no secret cost. When you work with these powers, you are not borrowing from some unseen force. You are taking control of how money moves in your life. And when you take control, you keep control. Ritual instructions. In most rituals, you are required to speak words and ask for help from the spirits. In this magic, the process has been simplified so that you only need to chant a sound. By observing the sigil and making this sound, all the work is done. What if you can't find the privacy to make these sounds? That's fine. Whisper them if need be. You can even have music playing so that nobody can hear what you're saying. So long as you make the sound in some way, it will work. If you absolutely cannot make the sounds out loud, think of the sounds in your head. To explore this further, we'll use the first ritual as an example. The sound you are shown is a word of power, presented like this: I-E-O-O-R as in father, E-E as in C-O-O as in food. During the ritual, you will simply make the sound I-E-O-O while gazing at the sigil. There's no need to chase a particular feeling or state of mind. You may sense the angel or spirit hearing you, or you may not, and both are fine. Each ritual should be performed a set number of times, as specified on the ritual page. Do not perform more than one ritual from this book per day. You may use rituals from other books on the same day if you wish. You can do the ritual on consecutive days or leave gaps between sessions. Some prefer to move through quickly, others choose to linger, allowing time to reflect and absorb the effects. Either approach is valid. There's no need to perform a ritual more than the suggested number of times, but doing so is not harmful. If you feel drawn to continue, you may. Just know that repetition does not guarantee stronger results. What matters most is your engagement with the material and your connection to the ideas presented in the chapter that comes before the ritual. You can perform your rituals at any time of day or night. You don't need special clothing or preparation. Choose a space that feels appropriate and private enough that you won't be disturbed. If you are interrupted, you can pause and continue later. Sit, stand, or choose any comfortable posture. Don't slouch or get too relaxed. You should remain attentive, but you should feel at ease. Before you begin, understand that magic marks a special moment when you take control of your life. This is not just reading from a book. By performing the magic, You connect with powerful angelic and magical forces. Appreciate that access to this magic is a gift. You don't need to force feelings, but take a moment to honor the power that's now available to you. Most of the time, nothing dramatic will happen during a ritual. You may not feel anything unusual, and that's perfectly normal. Performing the ritual is enough. Sometimes, however, you may experience strange or magical sensations. If you do, know that it's safe. The magic has been constructed with your protection in mind. Some people feel nothing. Others sense power the moment they open the book. Some experience brief glimpses of energy. These are just reflections of how your personality interacts with the magic. They do not predict the results. Even if you never sense anything, the magic still works. The ritual begins without ceremony the moment you open the book to the correct page with the intention to perform. If using a paperback or hardback, everything will be visible. If using an ebook, look at the sigil for a moment, then return to the text. This brief glance allows your subconscious to register the sigil. Familiarize yourself with the pronunciation of the sound for your ritual. You can learn it well in advance or moments before. Don't worry about accidentally activating the magic. Making the sound outside the ritual context is harmless. Think about the ritual's purpose. Consider how it might help you and what the best outcome would feel like. Don't worry about when it will happen. You are not trying to force a specific future, just contemplating possibilities. Your conscious thoughts help the spirits understand your desires, and your subconscious is also accessed automatically. What if the purpose of the ritual isn't entirely clear? This can happen with some rituals, as the descriptions are deliberately brief. If this is the case, feel free to look back at the chapter that comes before the ritual. Know that the ritual is designed to integrate these ideas into your life. The ideas become a part of you and are expressed through practical changes and actions. You only need to think about this for a minute. Don't overthink it. There are no right or wrong ways to think about your desired outcome. You are only considering how the ritual might help you. A brief consideration is enough, and you don't need to plan or imagine every detail of how it could help. Now look at the sigil again, not to analyze or interpret it, but to simply gaze. Let your eyes rest on the white space in the design, knowing the letters rise from the background and become a part of you. The Hebrew letters spell out angel names and words of power. While simple, this is possibly the most direct and effective form of magic that exists. Although the sigils are quite sparse, there is enough magical information to obtain the result. You do not need to look directly at the letters. It's okay if you do, but you should gaze at the white space to allow the letters to be taken into your subconscious. After letting your eyes rest on the white space for a few moments, chant the sound. In the first ritual, it is I-E-O-O. What does it mean to chant? Simply repeat the sound again and again. You may find a natural rhythm, but there's no wrong way to do it. You don't need to sound grand or magical. Continue chanting for about 2 minutes. There's no need to time it exactly. Just aim for a natural span. Keep your gaze on the sigil as far as possible. It's fine to blink or glance down briefly to check the sound, but try not to look around or become distracted. When it feels complete, stop. That's the end of the ritual. What if it never feels complete? Stop after roughly 2 minutes and feel confident that you've done enough. There's no formal closing. You might close the book and move on, or you might continue to gaze at the sigil in quiet reflection. You may feel inspired or notice nothing at all. Either is fine. Trust that the magic is in motion. The angels called through these rituals are immensely powerful and yet quite hidden from view. Their power is to gather resources from other angels and bring them to bear on your desire. You never need to speak the angel names, but pronunciations are given for the sake of clarity. I haven't included a step-by-step summary, because such shortcuts often led to rushed or careless magic. But if you feel confident creating your own summary, feel free to do so. You can refer to it during the ritual or return to this chapter as needed.